You want answers?
What's that going to set up?
We've got to go to work.
It's the Strat Show. But we're always wondering what the next two is.
Holy shnikes, it worked.
That's something I want to know about.
What's your name, scumbag?
Strat Attack Show.
We're on a mission from God.
Here's Rob Smith. Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith. This is Smith in the Black, and we had some audio problems, but we're reshooting this because it's an important week to understand this. And we hop in the urban assault vehicle, let's find out what's going on. So let's take a look at what's going on this week. And so if we take a look here, the SPY is a 2-2 reversal and a 3-2-2. This is an outside week. This is a 2 down, 2 up on the week above 406.41. So we will know that for the rest of the week because that's a 2-2 reversal to back to the upside. Here's your broadening formation. The good part about that, you got some distance here if we go back and test out the highs. So the thing is, the monthly here, all that's doing is putting us into a doji. But we knew about breaking these 3 months, but do we stay down or do we go up? So one of the things we want to know about too is on the daily, right? If we take this out, you can see this. We took out these highs, these lows. There's your broadening formation. If we take this out to the downside, we got problems. If not, you've got all these weeklies kicking in. If you go to QQQ, and QQQ has some distance, right? We know this has been the bugaboo, if you will. But it would be 322 if we can take this out. 309.34. Until we do that, you're still an inside week. And the daily was an inside day to the upside. So the question is, do we have a rev strat and take this out in the morning, or do we continue on the upside? So one of the things about the strat is we're always willing to go either way. And like, what are these things doing? Like, so we'll always know that. Dow Jones diamonds, here we knew about this monthly. Inside month, 2 up, 2 down to take these guys out, which it did. And now it's coming back up. And if you go to the weekly here, still inside week. But if we can take this out, 327.61, right? You're almost there. That would be good for the Dow Jones diamonds. But, you know, it was great. I was out in Vegas. And one of the things I love about speaking live again is when things happen after I just explained it to you. So Saturday morning, I was explaining the XLE and how that reversal on the yearly and all those reversals that we know from the macro video were the place to be all year. And also simultaneous break here. And it happens on all time frames. So inside week to the upside. And so just like how we like to trade, this is a perfect example of an entry and then an add. All right. You got an outside bar. You got a 2 down. You got a 2-2 reversal. These two became an outside bar of this. Now, this was rough in here, right? But we knew we were here going out on the highs. We're at exhaustion risk because we went into the highs. So let's say that we're just going to muscle it out and say, okay, Rob, I'm in from a lot lower. Now you got your inside bar, 2-1-2 continuation in XLE. And you've got a lot of that stuff working. Now you've got Oxy here, 2-2 reversal. 2 up, inside, and back into the new highs. And we've known about this all year. If you go to Kinder Morgan, here, outside week, by taking out both sides, 3-1-2. Where are we going to go? We're going to take these guys at 2019. If we go to Chevron, and you can see it's not always that easy. You know, even though we know what we know, it's not always that easy. But when you have this kind of movement during a week, knowing it's still an inside week, right? This was your 3-2-2, but didn't hit magnitude. Here, spooked you, but it was still an inside week. And then, boom, 2-1-2, and boom, these guys become an outside bar of that. If we go to Devon, here, outside bar, 3-2-2, bam, these become an outside bar of that outside bar. Then you have your inside week, 2-1-2. And when this is all happening, we know to go to Nurgu because it's a triple. And it's happening in everything. right? And we've known about this all year too. 2-2, and this was really nice because it took out 445.44 and went all the way up to 582 in 1 week. Now inside week, and then takes it up. Continuation. About 545.08, now trading 583. So we're just doing some exhaustion risk up in here. The yearlies are all still good in this stuff, and that means Valero here. So what exhaustion risk means is that we want to come back to a previous range because we're going to stop people out. Then do the buyers step up. So you can see here, inside week, the magnitude was to take that out, which it did here. And then it backs off. So the question is, did the buyers step up? The good thing is that we can watch all of the energy stocks together because they're all doing it. All right, Amarada Huss here, inside week to the upside. And so any given day, once we have full time frame continuity to the upside, we know all those buyers are back in there stepping up, right? And that's a good thing, right? Because it's a high probability. And you've got Halliburton here, 2-2 reversal on the week. Almost all of them. MRO stops them out, 2-2 reversal. Still got some magnitude to take that out. So we'll keep an eye on that. And of course, on Wednesday we've got the oil inventory number coming out 1 hour after the opening. And with the war and all that stuff, the number's not that important, but it is a benchmark going forward of stuff that we want to know about because that's when there's new information in the market when the market's open. So it's a new continuity level, right? Just like we have monthly, weekly, daily 60 with energy names, we also have the Wednesday inventory number. So that's also a level. So if we also look at SMH reversal week to down to up, right? As long as you're above this, 233.70. And so we get a little extra boost. If QQQ can take this out, those things will get an extra boost, right? So SMH, there you go. And you got a lot of SMH names coming up. AMD was up today, and that was a 2 down by taking out the lows. 2-2 reversal. These two are now an outside bar of that. But we can watch them all together as like we want simultaneous break. Are they buying all the semis? Are they buying all the energies? We want to keep an eye on that because you've got stuff like MU, also a 2-2 reversal, 2 down, 2 up on the week. Marvell here, 2 down, 2 up, and back into an old 3, which gives us the magnitude to take this out. 63.11 if these things start coming, and that's going to be a nice move. If we go to AMAT, 2 down, 2 up, and you see they're all very similar, right? That's a good thing. That tells us that they were coming in, rotating into the semiconductors as a group. 3-2-2 here in SWKS above 106.41. All right, so you're just slightly above that. That's something we want to know about. If we go to Teradyne, 2 down, 2 up over this. 108.42. So there's all that kind of good stuff. I also talked about this in the Strat Time report, VRTX. And VRTX, this is what we wait for because this is a 2 down, 2 up on the year. So what you wait is for this corrective activity, 2 down by taking out the lows, 2 down by taking out the lows, 2 down by taking out, now 2-2 reversal here in the week. Above 251. Trading 261, that's a nice move already. But this puts you back where you want to be because of those. This is how you combine the macro video with the shorter term stuff. And then on the month, we're just middle of the month, but if that works, you can take this back green and set up the 2 up, 2 down month, right? So that's something we want to know about. If we go to Commvault, you can see this. Here's my support level. Everybody stopped out. Oh, it's coming back up. Potential Rev Strat month. Here, inside, down. And then if you go to the weekly, here. 2 down by taking out the lows. 2-2 reversal here. Above 59.54. Played in 61.49. That's nice. So on the downside, there's not too much, but we want to be aware of like QQQ here because we know it's still inside on the week, right? And if it takes the lows out tomorrow morning, That'd be a rev strat. 1, 2, 2. So we're always going to be aware of both sides. Which way we're going to go. Most people come in with their plan. Here's my favorite ideas. We always want to come in with 3 plans. Market's going up, market's doing nothing, market's going down, right? And here's what we're going to do. So far, we're looking to see if that can take that weekly high out, or does it take the daily low out, right? So we'll go either way there. So you've got stuff like EXPE going nowhere. This thing's having all sorts of problems. Inside day to the downside yesterday, lower low here, and it's still here on the monthly. It's still an inside month to the downside, right? Now it hit a lot of magnitude here, but we're always watching the strength and weakness out there. You got Lulu. Also, the 3-2 month, and it has not hit magnitude to take this out yet. Now, we got some earnings coming out in retail. We'll see how that affects that. You got TJ Maxx, you got Target, all that kind of stuff coming out tomorrow morning. But you can see how it attempted to rally today here and then just fell back in. And if you go to the 15-minute, you'll see this. Whoop. Two up, two down, reversal back down. A real nice move there if you go to the 30. So I talk about the 30s and the 60s. Two up by taking out these highs. 2-2 reversal, boom, right there, gone, and then chop. So we'll see what comes to Lulu. McDonald's here. Always want to be aware of anybody taking out last month's lows. That's a 2 up, 2 down month. Here below this, 240, 238. You're there right now. If we start to fail, that's where you might want to go. D-Dog, still an inside month to the downside, right? So, but if you look at D-Dog, you're going to look at this on the daily. Here's your broadening formation. So it stopped all these guys out. Comes up, maybe a good chance of an inside day tomorrow. But then we want to see if that reconfirms everything going to the downside, or if it starts going 2-2 to the upside to come up through here. If we go to Kroger, look at this. Open on the highs and went out on the lows. And Kroger, at this point, slight higher high. That's a 2 up. 2-2 reversal to the downside. Magnitude's all the way down here if they keep killing it, 47, 43. If we go to SQ, still an inside month to the downside. It hits magnitude. All these guys got stopped out. So the question is that going to roll back over or not? And if you go to the daily, it does hold this gap higher, right? You got an outside day now. Took out both of these sides. So the question is, does this hold and start coming back, or does it re-break to the downside? You got some distance for that to be a 2-2 on the weaker, just like a lot of the Qs, stuff like that. But anytime you go into lower lows, got to be aware of that. That might be exhaustion. If you go to Apple, and Apple handily inside week, right? We know that. Just want to be aware of there being conflict with the month. In the daily, inside day to the upside. If it takes this out to the downside, that's something I'd want to know. Or if it follows through to the upside, that's something I want to know. Because as we get closer, we're in the middle of the month, it's still an inside month down. But here, see all these guys? Its job was to stop these guys out. It did. So on a monthly, you don't have a great signal, but it did what it was supposed to do. If we go to Microsoft inside month to the downside. The question is, does it stay below all these guys, or does it start rallying back? And so if you go to the weekly, still an inside week, right? But it's green on the week, and we'll see how that goes. If we go to Uber, still handling an inside week, because we know this, still an inside month to the downside. It did its job. It took this out. Right? The question is, does it stay down there? Obviously, you can want to lift with that. If you go to net, still 3-1-2 to the downside and staying below these guys. Right? And so you can look at net and you go to the weekly, and you'll see this. Still an inside week, but it's red. This thing's not fighting back very much. Right? That's what we want to know about it. It was a 2 down on a day like today. Right? So we'll keep an eye on that as well. If we go to ZM, and ZM weekly here, still stock down here, but you do want to be aware of all of the things that are inside month and down and Coop and all that kind of stuff if they keep puking. Coop did its job. Inside month, magnitude was here, 64.79, did its job, and you can see this here on the daily, trying to fight back, but we'll see. So you always want to be aware of all the major signals, right? What are they? Are they being reconfirmed? Are they being negated by the shorter term stuff? And so at this point, when you look at SPY and you start looking at the monthlies, and we're halfway through, even if we rally, we're doji. How are we going to get outside of this month's range next month, right? We're already forward thinking QQQ. How are you going to get out of this month's range? What are you going to do? So at this point, summertime's coming. You might have some inside months in June, but we got plenty of month left to do it. So that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, Mr. Black, the Strat Show.
You've been listening to the Strat Show.
It's over.
That looks like I'm running out of time again.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
And now for something completely different.
Yeah. Did you get that memo?
Let's go to Billy Baroo.
Oh, Billy.
Here's where they're buying.
Oh, behave.
Here's where they're selling.
Oh, righty.
I'd keep an eye on this. Is that a problem? It is.
You just don't turn it off.
I'm Rob Smith.
I hate Illinois Nazis.
I'm Smith in the Black with the Strat Attack.